Alright guys, welcome to the video today. So in this video I want to discuss the sniper changes that are being brought in the recent weapon tuning that we're seeing in PvP right now. I've been playing with it for the past day and a half. I've kind of got a better feel for it, and like initially I had some really poor reactions and I just kind of jumped the gun on it, and even though my thoughts now aren't really that much different than they were initially, I kind of have a better grip on how it actually feels and how it actually plays out. So I wanted to make this video to kind of formulate my thoughts and put them into one uniform video, so if I ever get in any sort of Twitter discussion or someone comes in my stream asking me my opinions, I can simply link them to this video. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's hop right into it. First off, I wanted to go over what was changed and kind of why it was changed. Most of the time it was kind of incited by community response, so whether that be, you know, a tweet directed at Bungie complaining at them, something on the Bungie forums, a YouTube video, whatever it may be, that's kind of the main influence for the changes being made. And there are two main ones, and pretty much the ones I guess that affect you the most, but there's a few little tiny tweaks here and there, but the main ones are flinch increase and damage decrease for the quote-unquote meta sniper. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, LDR longbow 1000 yard stare type of archetype has been nerfed. Basically the damage is going to be going down by 6.95%, so you're going to get around 153 I think for a body shot. This isn't like exact math, but it's going to be in the 150 range and around 383 or in the 380 range for a headshot. So you know, obviously you're still going to be able to headshot people. I was testing it earlier. I was playing a sweaty match and we were playing against a Titan who's running hammers, and I was actually able to one-shot him out of his hammers when he was running it was around like medium armor, kind of, I think it was 4 out of 10 armor. So you're definitely still going to get clips where you can shoot people out of their super. But if anyone is running kind of the maximum armor kind of set where you're in the 7, 8, 9, 10 range, you're not going to be able to snipe them out of their super. Usually if they're in that like 9, 10 range, they're a Titan anyways and they don't really have a roaming super generally, you know, assuming they're a defender or a striker. But for the most part, you're going to see a lot less baby blades, a lot less self-res snipe. So if someone self-reses, it's going to be a lot harder to get that snipe off. Obviously, if you get a headshot in them when they're self-resing, they're pretty much dead anyways. But I thought I'd kind of throw that in there. But the main one for me, the big one, is going to be aim deflection, which is also known as flinch. So it increases the starting strength for aim deflection when players take damage while scoped in from 30% to 50%, and then it starts at that and it basically gets multiplied every single time you get hit. Originally it was multiplied by 1.85, now it's being multiplied by 1.9. I'm kind of assuming I'm understanding this correct. This is kind of just me formulating what is on the Bungie post. If you don't believe me and you think I'm wrong, go ahead and post or go ahead and check out the Bungie post yourself. I'll leave a link to it in the description box. But overall sniper ADS deflection is going to be a lot worse, and I've kind of been playing around with it and it's still manageable to get snipes. I think it's going to higher the skill gap as far as trials and stuff. My only concern is that when it comes to competitive play, seeing a sniper was pretty rare. Most of the time you run at least one per team, and this is kind of the first time, kind of the first meta where that's ever been kind of a default loadout. And now with this change, I feel like we're kind of going to be reverting back to triple shotty again. Now we don't know what the main playlist is going to be for competitive. Maybe the new thing is 4v4. We don't know. But at least for now, I don't feel quite as confident in sniping. I was doing pretty well earlier. But if you're playing against a good team, that, you know, a top 3 team, Lumi, Anbu, pretty much any other player, Hype, OTF, whoever it may be, if you're playing against a team that is constantly getting shots on you with a Thorn or IS Luna, or pretty much any primary for that matter, it's very hard to get shots off at them. And that's the first thing I noticed, is that when I was playing in public matches and just kind of screwing around in Rumble and Skirmish, a little bit more in Rumble I'd say than just classic 3v3, but I noticed that when I'm playing in a public match, it's a lot easier to snipe compared to when I'm playing in a sweaty match, especially now being highlighted, I guess, through aim deflection. So when I'm getting hit now, it's very hard to snipe. I think this was a good I guess patch overall. I think the only thing that kind of sways my opinion is because I don't care about trials. I don't care about playing a random 3v3, you know, skirmish match. The main thing I care about is balance and enjoyment of play when it comes to competitive games. So like sweaties, tournaments, whatever it may be. That's mainly what I've been doing in Destiny for the past 2 years, and it's going to kind of remain like that in the future. So that's my main concern. I feel like I might not be sniping anymore. If you see me in a tournament, there's a 70% chance now that I'm going to be running shotgun. It's definitely possible, but I think as you kind of advance into further rounds of tournaments and higher level of play, it's going to be a lot harder to use. So maybe to put this in perspective, if you're a Trials player, if you're getting into those 8-9 win cards, 7-8-9 win, it's going to be a little bit hard because you're going to be playing against some pretty good players. And the main thing for this is when you see, you know, a patch that's saying this is nerfed on your favorite style of weapon, a lot of times someone is just really quickly to say, screw it, this weapon is horrible, I'm going to use a new weapon. So I think moving on, although snipers aren't going to be that horrible and obviously they're still going to be good, I think we're going to see a lot more weapon diversity when it comes to shotguns, fusions, sidearms, that whole sort of thing. But that's kind of just what happened. I think it was a good change overall. One of the main complaints that kind of led to the flinch nerf, at least from my understanding, is that when you're playing in a game, and this kind of argument has specifically developed at the time where skill-based matchmaking was introduced, and even if you're playing someone who's green bar, let's just say they're not lagging at all to your knowledge, it's just kind of a latency issue as far as, you know, your shots are registering, but they're registering, you know, half a second later or whatever. If you're getting sniped through walls, that's like the main complaint. I just got sniped when I was 5 feet around a wall. So how long do you think it took from you being shot on his screen, him pulling the trigger, how long do you think you were running to get 5 feet beyond that wall? Let's just say that's, you know, 0.6 seconds or a whole second maybe. If you're shooting at someone with a Mida or a Hawksaw or whatever, while someone is ADSing on you with a sniper, and you get shot when you're, you know, a burst or maybe a burst or two in, or maybe 2 or 3 Mida shots in, they could have shot when you shot your first Mida bullet, but it only registers when you shot your third. If that makes any sense to you, kind of clarifying, they might have shot before on their screen, but it only comes through on your screen later. That's the same reason why if you think you got shot through a wall, if you look at the gameplay of the person who quote unquote shot you through a wall, it's gonna look like they shot you long before you cleared the wall or cleared the doorway or whatever, which is a valid complaint, and I feel like not a lot of people understand that in the community. And I think that as far as Trials goes, this is fun for me because I hate, you know, this style of play in Trials, especially when it comes to sniping. So if you guys watch my live streams, a lot of people ask me to snipe, but for the most part, I'm using a shotgun when I'm playing Trials, and that's always probably how it's going to be in the future. I don't know. It's a good change. Some stuff is iffy. I think it's going to be adjusted in the future. That's kind of my my initial thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, kind of putting my thoughts into one uniform video, kind of keeping it clean. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Peace. By the way, this was a Red Death Only Sweaty gameplay. Super fun.